the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Mark Donica asked me if I was okay to do a cold open, and I told him I was going to ad-lib it. And it was probably the worst cold open I've ever had.
That's all good.
We
live, baby.
What's up, everybody? It's Sunday night. It's the NBA playoffs. We're talking Cavs, Raptors. We're talking Spurs, Rockets. We're talking Celtics, Wizards, and a little bit of Warriors, Jazz, I guess. I'm Josh Rodriguez. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh_Rodriguez_Jill. Where can they find you?
I am Jill Munroe. You can find me everywhere at Stiletto Jill. And right now, we're in the live chat, so get in there. What are you waiting for?
Hit up in that live chat. We got to have it popping for the show. Hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at Deanjilo. That's Deanjilo.
And you guys can find me, Jessie Zahner, on all social media at FLedChick.
All right, guys. Well, I mean, these games, I'm kind of getting sick of blowouts.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
No.
No.
As long as it's the Cavs, no.
Yeah, I'm very happy with what's transpired.
Yeah.
So.
I'm tired of blowouts. I like when it's a little bit more interesting.
Right.
So I want to see a little bit of competition. Cavs and Warriors are just like, boop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the finals was like that last year, except for Game 7. Like, all of them were like, it was a close series, but the games weren't very close
the
at the
swings
end.
in the games.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to see some like last minute shots, like overtimes, things like that, and we're just not getting it right now.
We've had a few. The Washington and Celtics. The
overtime game was close. They just pulled away in overtime.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know.
It went to overtime.
I think I'm starting to get a little disappointed with the play in the playoffs. That's all.
I do feel bad for neutral fans, but as a person who
that's right, you have your team
very invested, interested in it, I'm happy with the results.
I'm looking for breakout performances. I'm like you. Things that we can talk about that'll say. I mean, but we have had some. I think that we're just a little jaded because we've already moved past Isaiah Thomas's like ridiculous feat a couple of days ago. We're like,
with the 53 points.
There's not that many exciting.
Yeah.
And I think we're all just kind of waiting.
KD, he had a great game the other night.
We'll
breakout
definitely
thing.
talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll definitely talk about that. Let's start Rockets versus Spurs. That was the last game of the night. Rockets win 125-104. Series is now tied 2-2. Rockets hit 19 3-pointers tonight. And I guess that's pretty much the theme for this series. That's what I'm going to say, at least. If the Rockets are on, I think they're going to win the series. If they're missing shots, they're going to lose the series. I know it sounds very simple. It's not the best basketball analysis I can come up with, but I mean, they're a three-point shooting team. They're a one-trick pony, and if they're hitting their threes, they're very hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
Jill, what do you make of this series so far? What do you make of tonight's game specifically?
Tonight's game, I think what we're seeing is that when the role players get involved, Trevor Ariza, Lou Williams, and help Harden out, they're a much better team, and things tend to go their way. Otherwise, it's just kind of at a whim. But I think the Rockets are going to win regardless because the Spurs are missing Tony Parker.
Okay.
A little. I mean, LA came alive for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Proud of him.
He like 6 straight points in the third.
I mean, and then what happened?
Yeah.
The Rockets just started burying threes.
Right.
We got highlights here. Mark, you play it whenever you want.
I think, I'm still Spurs because I look at this stat line. Kawhi Leonard has 16 points and 7 of 14 shooting. LaMarcus Aldridge 16 points, 7 of 13. There's a lot of things that they didn't do that they usually do. Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge all have to score more than 20 both games, which I think is attainable. And I don't think that the Tony Parker being gone is going to hurt them that much. I like Patty Mills. He's going to be the guy to score. And then Dante Murray starting is more of to keep Patty Mills coming off the bench.
Right.
And then someone else just has to step up. Like John Simmons had 17 today.
You say, someone else just has to step up. They always just have to step up.
And it usually happens. It's San Antonio. Yes, it usually happens. But it is contingent upon 2 or 3 Rocket players missing some threes throughout the game.
If Eric Gordon's off, Ryan Anderson's off, then I think the Spurs have a chance. But if they're hitting threes like tonight,
Right.
No shot.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jesse?
I mean, this was a tough game for the Spurs, but I think the Spurs ultimately will win this series. I just see that happening. I think Houston would be interesting if they can be on all the time. Just like you said, it's like simple. And I know they talk about this on other sports shows. I know Le Batard always makes fun of the coaches, but like whoever makes the most whatever wins. But like if their threes are on, I think they are going to be the biggest challenge for Golden State. But I still, for some reason, think that the Spurs are going to pull out a win in this series.
I'm with you as well. Yeah.
So you're going Spurs, you're going Spurs. I mean, I'm sticking with my Rockets in 6, but I don't know if I'm as confident just because I don't like relying on the 3 ball as much as they do,
They're so
But that's their game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's been their game for the most part all year.
Right.
Yeah.
And I agree. And I feel like that's the way like the league is going now too. But like when you have to rely on the 3, it's like how do you beat Golden State though? Because
You have to hit the three. That's the way to beat Golden State.
right, but you have to be on every single game
Yeah.
for an entire series, and I just don't know. I just don't think that they can beat the Spurs.
No one's gonna
in this
outshoot
series.
Golden State.
I know.
No
Right.
one.
I
That's
agree.
a problem.
Yeah, that is the issue.
Yeah.
I think I will say that also one compelling thing about the Spurs is they're of a big time shooting team as well, but they have some paint guys. They have Paul Gasol. They have LaMarcus Aldridge. So they're not as reliant on the three as Houston is, even though Houston has more weapons. And that's why I still like the Spurs against the Warriors better because they have more weapons.
Nene went out with a groin injury. He actually went to the hospital. Which is,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know what his status is right now, but I mean, that's a huge loss for him in the series. You know, without Nene, how are they going to rebound the ball? I mean, they haven't been killed on the offensive glass. It's been in spurts. Like Powell's been getting offensive rebounds and putting the ball back in, and they've been killed a little bit, but not really. I think losing Nene, if he's out for games 6 and 7, that's going to hurt. Well, 5, 6, 7. That's going to hurt Houston a lot because they don't really have an inside presence besides Capella now. Would you play Montrezl Harrell? What would you do if you're D'Antoni, or would you just go small and just start chucking threes?
Go small and chuck. You have enough firepower
Yeah.
that you can work it out. I feel like also too their game is more so geared towards, of course you want Nene there cleaning up the middle and getting those rebounds, kicking the ball back out, but their game is geared towards, okay, if we don't have that, let's kick it up in speed and we're just going to volume you down with points and beat you down that way. They've never been a really big defensive team, so
Yeah.
We got a mixed opinion online too. So
Okay.
in the chat, CJ Houston says Spurs in 7. Lil John 2526 says gotta go with my hometown, Houston. So we're split in the chat even.
Oh, and we're
Yes.
split on here too.
I know.
we put up a poll on AfterBuzz on our Twitter who's going to win this series. Now that
So
it's tied
go
2-2.
and
So we
vote.
That actually ends in about an hour.
Okay.
So I'll pull it up. I mean, we only gave it an hour, so I don't know how many people are going to vote on it. But
And Fantasy Stats Guru just got back to us also and said he had Spurs and he or she, sorry, had Spurs in 7 before Parker went down. He said, I keep saying he, I think it's a he.
yeah,
I don't
he's
know.
a he, I believe.
He said, I guess I'll stick with that. But other than Mills' point guard situation scares me.
Yeah.
So there's about 34 minutes left in the poll, so you guys can still go and vote. But right
Yes.
now, it's 71% Rockets, 29% Spurs.
Wow.
Rock on with me. Thank you. Thank you. The right side of the desk tonight.
Yes.
Got it.
yes,
There it
we're going to
is.
have a campaign.
Yeah.
We're having a campaign.
Right
But
now.
I've been on
have it.
point with my predictions so far. I'm one.
And I have not, so.
So one
there you
we're
go.
split as well.
Take a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Take a chance. Be the tiebreaker.
I mean, so I
Yes.
guess it's pretty dumb to ask who's going to win Game 5, but I'll go around asking who's going to win Game 5. I mean, it's in San Antonio. We both said Rockets in 6, so by definition, we're going to say the Spurs. I mean, I say the Rockets, right?
I mean, usually what they always say, whoever wins Game 5 wins the series. So
Right.
in theory, you think the Rockets come back and win again. I don't know, because it's in San Antonio, that could be a really big swing factor. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still sticking with my prediction though that Rockets won the series. So
So I guess you guys have Spurs in Game 5.
It's. I don't think anyone's going to win a road game anymore. I think everyone stole one, and that's it.
so
Yeah.
do you think
Okay.
that it's going 7 games? or
I
you
do think it's going 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Harden 28 and 12, just a little nugget there. He played well. He looked like he hurt his knee. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was
That was
afraid he
scary.
like tore his ACL
So did
or
I.
something.
When they went to commercial break, I was like, oh my god, he's like really hurt.
Because it's just like a non-contact
Yeah.
injury
And
that's
then he
just
hit
like
a-
super scary.
Then he like a step back
So-
30-footer.
Right, but the thing is like, have you ever played, like, there are people that play with torn ACLs and MCLs and
yeah.
all kinds of things, so I'm like still worried, like, is he gonna go home tonight and then start like being sore and like, oh my gosh,
It's
this is not
swelling
good.
up.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happened to Rondo. I know it was
So-
his thumb, but like he
Right.
he finished Game 2 in the Celtics series, and then
Yeah. So
That
we'll
would
see.
suck.
I hope
not.
he's all right.
Yeah.
yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
GSW all day says Rockets in 7. Ian says Houston in 7, and Dane Nelson says Harden can carry better than Kawhi. Rockets in 7.
Ooh.
So
All right. All right, so let's move on to D'Angelo's favorite series, the Celtics and the Wizards. The Wizards win 121 to 102. The series is now tied at 2. D'Angelo, give me your Wizards fan objective or non-objective,
I'm
whatever
not
you'd like.
objective.
And are you cool with the Kelly Oubre suspension for today's game?
I'm not.
matter.
Of course, I didn't.
I mean,
want,
it didn't matter,
Yeah,
but
didn't
I'm
matter.
just saying,
Of
you
course,
know.
I didn't want them to suspend him, but
Yeah.
he did run to him full speed. In today's NBA, that is a suspension worthy.
I think in any NBA. Let's be honest.
I know. Is it? Because
Marquise was on the bench.
KD
looking like
did
a
something
proud
similar.
papa.
To Rudy Gobert, he like,
They had a little back and forth, and then ow, and but then Katie also had a bit of language.
yeah, I wasn't shocked by it. So, but Kelly Oubre is not vital to our
He's trying
winning
to be,
one
though.
game. Yeah,
Yeah, I
He's
agree.
trying to be.
But synopsis of the game is that we have had significant leads in every game, and I think we're the more talented basketball team. But when we are engaged on defense, we beat them. When we are not, we lose. And they were engaged when they needed to be in spots, and when they had like a 26-0 run.
Yeah, especially in the 26-0
Yeah.
run, I put together a highlight package of that you're seeing right now.
Yeah.
This is them playing defense and being
They
engaged
were
in
engaged.
defense.
I mean, that pen while Beal had, that almost he got him on the hand at the end a little bit.
block, yeah,
I was
almost
proud of him.
block.
I was like, look at you, going
he
up,
was-
going
yeah.
toe, chasing it down,
Yeah.
getting your little
this
LeBron-esque on.
this is my thing that I've said with the Wizards from like the beginning of us starting this is the Wizards are such a scary team because they are known for blowing big leads.
Right.
And they do it in the playoffs and they aren't afraid to do it at home. I know this time they were able to keep their big leads at home, but the 2 games prior they lost big leads. And like that is something that has been an issue for them for years. And I know years go by and you become more, you're a more veteran of a player and you've been to the playoffs more often, but like this is the same core. It's still John Wall, it's still Bradley Beal, it's still Gortat. Like these guys need to not blow those leads. It's scary.
well, they didn't today.
Well, no, and they
Yeah,
didn't, and
no,
they
Yeah.
didn't last game either.
Right.
But I'm just saying they did the 2 games before
Yeah.
that, so they're still like they need to not do that.
They could have easily swept this series, let's be honest.
Yes.
Well, no team on the road has won when it comes to the Wizards playing the Celtics, dating back to the regular season. So these teams protect their home court really well. So I don't think it's going to be really tough to like from a big picture standpoint. I think they need to win Game 5 to win the series because I don't think they'll win a Game 7 in Boston.
Okay. Bradley Beal, 29 points, 11 for 16 shooting. Finally. I mean,
Yes.
he struggled all series. And
Hello.
I think if he's going while John Wall's
Exactly.
going, there's no way I think the Celtics can keep up with them.
And you hold Isaiah to 19 points. You can't
Yeah.
be. There's nothing to say bad about this game.
Because Isaiah doesn't really have a second player like John Wall does. I mean,
Right.
there's no Bradley Beal to
Right.
whatever Isaiah Thomas would have. So if he can put up performances like this, I don't see a way that Boston can actually win. And I do expect Washington to go to Boston Game 5 and win. So I'm posing to you guys, has this series flipped? Has the momentum of this series flipped? Do you guys feel anything? Or is this just the Wizards holding down home court and, whoever has home court is going to, win the game? What do you think?
I picked the Wizards to win the matchup to begin with. I think that the Celtics, even though they're a higher seed, were playing a bit off of emotion. They had a lot going for them, and now that's sort of settled, and we're left with whatever this is. And the Celtics may be a better team.
Do you think they're a better team?
I don't. I think I prefer the Wizards. I think the Wizards have a better bench, but you hear a lot of the talk that the Celtics are a better team. But Wizards may have better.
I don't know. I don't
guess-
necessarily
disagree
agree
with
with
that.
that.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, we've had a couple people say that.
I have
Yeah.
heard that as well too. Yeah.
so just giving a full balance perspective. But I think that the Celtics were the ones that were playing more so momentum, and now I feel it's settled, and the Wizards are settled, and it's gonna play out with them winning.
So both teams settled. Wizards got this. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you think the momentum has flipped in this series, or is there momentum in this series? I guess is a question.
I think everyone has done what they're supposed to do. They won at home, so it's even. It's the series that started. It's the best of 3.
So the Wizards are not going to carry any type of momentum into Boston. It's just is what it is.
I think they'll be far more engaged, like you said, to hold leads. But I don't think they ever felt like they lacked confidence when they were down 2-0 because I feel like they've dominated most games. They just haven't won every game.
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've had the Wizards to win this series from the beginning, and I still believe that they will. I just, I always have a worry about them blowing leads because that is something that they do, and it is a concern. And they can't do that. But yeah, I still have them winning this series. And I actually am impressed by some of their bench players because I always give their bench a really hard time. Like
Really
I
bad.
think
It's usually pretty bad.
yeah. So I'm pretty impressed. So I'm still going with the Wizards.
Bogdanovich 2 straight games where he's played pretty well.
They need him
Even
too.
game 2 he was up
Yeah.
a little spurt.
Yeah.
What's the chat saying?
The chat is saying, Fantasy Stats Guru is saying, no road team has won in this matchup all season.
Yeah.
Which we mentioned. And that's a Gator, baby. So who's a Gator?
Talking about Bradley Beal.
Okay.
Because someone said Bradley Beal looks like a high schooler. Lil John 2526 says, I really want to see Washington Cleveland meeting in the Eastern Conference.
yeah,
Finals."
I do.
That's
I think
going to
more
be
people want to
electric.
see that.
We're still,
That's the
we're
far
still
more
thinking back to
interesting matchup.
that March game.
Actually, and one really interesting stat that was brought up was John Wall has 20 plus points and 7+ assists in 10 consecutive playoff games, the most in a single postseason in NBA history, ahead of Michael Jordan's 8.
Wow.
And Hardaway.
I thought that was really interesting because I think that John Wall does not get the credit that he
No,
deserves.
he does. He's starting to a little bit.
Right.
But you're right, he doesn't. And
I mean, but part of that I feel is that one, he hasn't had a very good team around him, and he had to mature himself.
No doubt.
I think if you saw, there was an interview earlier this season, and they asked, "What's been the turnaround with the Wizards?" and he said, "It's me."
Yeah.
And some people looked at it as he's being very arrogant, taking credit for the team's success.
No, I believe
but
that for
he
sure.
said that he set the tone, and he made a decision to be a leader and step up, and that the team followed suit. So I think this is a coming of age season for him.
Yeah.
I said this on Twitter too. His biggest, like in watching him, his biggest thing has been his offensive confidence. It's grown significantly because he started 0 for 9 in the first quarter, and 2 years ago
Yeah,
that would have been it
just
for him
upset. Oh, yeah.
offensively. So
yeah, he started 0 for 9. He finished 8 for 25. He had 27 points, 12 assists, and a couple beautiful
some dimes.
dimes.
I cry every time.
Did you see he had one where it was like it was a little no look, little razzle dazzle on it.
Around the back, he had a nice little no look to Gert's
Having
hat.
John Wall is like being in a relationship with a girl out of your league, and you're just like, I don't deserve you. Like when he does stuff like that, it's like, what did I do to deserve this?
No, but he's so good. But he's been like this for years, like passing wise, that I've seen. And the Wizards years ago would get, one of the things that they struggled with was turnovers. And I'm honestly like, the turnovers that happened because of these John Wall passes, it's just like the other guys on the court aren't getting it yet. And I feel like with more years together with Gortat and Beal, like they're finally starting to get it.
Yeah.
I also still think that Wall is still motivated by Beal getting all that money and him looking around at his contract like, really?
Really?
Yeah. Let's not act like athletes don't have
No,
egos.
you're right.
And let's not act like that stuff doesn't matter to them. I don't care what you say. If you feel like I'm nice and he's getting, what is he getting? A full like 30, 40 million more than John Wall is getting? You think about that type of stuff.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah.
bit. That's why they were kind of shaky last season because they're whatever little
think that's what it
I don't know
was?
what happened last season.
And
Yeah, it was weird.
no,
Yeah.
it was the money.
I don't think
I don't
there
know
was some
about that.
John
Joe.
Wall got max. John Wall got his max money
He
when he was a
did.
free agent, and
And
Bradley
then-
Beal got max
right,
money when he was a free
but
agent. So how is John Wall gonna be upset at that?
Because that jump up because of the TV deal was significant, and yeah, these are your two superstar players, but it leapfrogged him significantly.
Yeah.
And I think that
That's
it affected
that's a
him.
theory.
Celtics hit 14 threes tonight.
14.
14 threes and still lost to Washington's 9. That 26-0 run
Yeah, it
Killed
killed them. That
them.
was it.
turned up the defense and just started scoring in transition. They looked like the way better team.
Yeah.
But all right, well, we'll see what happens in Game 5. Let's move on to the Cavs and the Raptors.
Yes.
Same old, same old. LeBron's too good.
I have some things
Okay.
that I noted. I think that Toronto, the Raptors' problem is their coach. I mean,
Yes.
again,
Yes.
there was some lack of confidence, but I had questions about his substitution pattern tonight.
Okay.
First of all, he inserted, what is it, Fred Van Vliet?
I like him.
But here's the thing, though. They immediately lost ground when he
Yeah.
got inserted. They were picking up ground when DeLon Wright was in.
Okay.
So I just wonder what he was looking at, some of their substitution patterns. Also, when PJ Tucker was in, who I've been talking about, when he's playing at least about 30 minutes a game,
Yeah.
they do better.
Okay.
And you saw that tonight once again also. And so I just think that it's something with coaching. He's not, maybe he doesn't see what we see. He's not watching the floor. Obviously, he's a professional, but something is awry there. Maybe he's playing scared. Maybe he doesn't like certain players, but something is off with their substitution pattern and just how he plays his players, I feel.
I thought the Raptors had every game I've seen from them in the postseason, they moved the ball actually very well today. And I thought they were looking good. I actually thought they were going to win the game just watching the game, but
Really?
it just turned out they didn't. Yeah, I did. DeRozan, they were moving the ball. It was a very rare moment in Raptor history.
The game was The game was close, but at no point did I think they would win that game.
Oh, you just
Yeah.
thought it was a cute little.
I thought
I
it
just
was
mean in the beginning because
pride, like we shouldn't get swept, but like we're still not good enough to win type of situation.
I was very impressed. They were swinging the ball around.
He had a little teardrop going.
DeRozan was passing out the right. They're making an extra pass for the three.
Oh, imagine if y'all played like that all the time.
Yeah, I was like, oh, come on.
I was like, wow.
I mean, I feel for them though because they miss so many wide open threes. They have no shooters, and I think I have a theory on what they need to do going forward. But like,
We'll talk about that in a second.
yeah. Like, I see why they do the ISO shoot the mid range because they don't make their open shots.
Maybe it's part of it.
And can we just stop for one moment about Kyle Lowry looking like G Money from New Jack City?
I didn't see his suit. Was it good or no? No.
I said he
wasn't
looked like
funny?
G Money in New Jack City. That man's almost 30 years old at this point.
Hey, something circled back around. Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah,
that looks like.
CMB. That's all we got.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
See, I gotta
Does
look it
the
up
chat know
now.
who
Yeah.
G Money is?
Yeah.
Chat, do you know who G Money is?
Have you not seen New Jack City?
I have no idea what you're
I've
talking
seen New
about.
Jack City, but I don't remember G
Wait.
Money. I don't remember what G Money looked like.
You don't remember what G Money
No, I
looked
don't remember
like?
that. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
You just saw
So
highlights.
there's Wesley Snipes, right?
Right.
And then there was G Money, his right hand guy.
Can
the
we
one
get that?
ended
Can we
up-
get that up on the
let's see.
screen?
Let's see
Can we get that up on the
G-Money.
screen?
Mark is like, what are you talking about?
We're asking a lot of
G-Money.
Mark right now.
We
G-Money
are.
from New Jack City.
I will
videos.
find.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, I'll find.
Oh, Jesus.
I think Mark's got it.
Because I retweeted it. Here's the
Oh,
thing.
he's
Go to
looking
my
back.
Twitter at Stiletto Jill. There's a side-by-side comparison that I
gotta
tweeted
see that.
earlier
That's
of
awesome.
Kyle Lowry and G Money from New
gonna
Jack
get-
City, side by side. Tell me what you think. You know, go to
Hold
Stiletto
on, I
Jill's
like that
right
Kyle
there.
Lowry
see it.
fit though. Hold up.
You do with
Yes.
that big initial chain
See,
on.
I can't see the full
He's
picture.
He's doing a lot. Yeah, it's an interesting look, you know.
It is.
Oh,
That's
okay,
it.
yeah,
Kyle
I remember him
Lowry
from New
right
Jack.
there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Alan Payne as G Money in New Jack City. CMB is all we got.
I'm not mad with it. I'm
You're not mad with it? Okay,
I'm
moving
not
on.
mad
I
with
just
it.
wanted to point that
No,
out
I'm glad we
really quick.
discussed
Really,
that.
really quick.
LeBron had 35, 9-9, doing LeBron things.
That's it.
Absolutely.
The Cavs are now 8-0 this postseason, 11-0 if you date back to the last postseason. I mean, like, look, let's take a look to what DeMar DeRozan said in the press conference about LeBron James.
Maybe if you guys had a little bit more time, things might have been different this time around. Do you feel as though that might have been the issue?
If we had LeBron on our team too, we would have.
Like, you shouldn't say
True.
that.
You're not supposed to say
that all
that.
day, time.
What do you think Corey
everything,
Joseph
but,
was thinking?
No, we didn't. You know, it happened.
It's probably like
You know, we
true.
got swept. And you know, it's
Look
gonna
at
be
his face.
one of them long summers for us.
Yeah.
I mean, it was over before it ever started. That's what that tells me. It was over before it ever started.
Yeah, they didn't have the confidence in themselves. They didn't believe in
But you went
themselves.
against LeBron for was it the second straight year? You know, I mean, you got to have a little bit of confidence. You took
Well,
him
and
to
they
said so.
won. They won a few games.
Yeah.
He
He
took him to
said-
six, and now you have
last season,
Ibaka this season. Like,
He also added that LeBron looked faster and better, like even from last season. He said that. I thought it was interesting hearing him
But
say
I
that.
mean, if you look at LeBron's game, something is certainly different this year. Maybe the extended rest, maybe playing for a timeout. But he does look like he is very spry and has a fresh gear as we're heading towards the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
So.
Right.
he's on a mission. He's
I-
on a
Yeah.
mission.
you know,
2 years ago, remember, he got winded when Golden State took it. You could tell in the finals he was a little
everybody
tired.
got hurt too.
Everybody
Yeah.
was hurt. He was like
Right.
carrying
He was on his Russell
everything.
Westbrook at
Yeah.
that.
So
at that
I
time.
feel like we don't want to have that happen again. LeBron has
Right.
obviously been thinking ahead and very much planning this out. He's a strategic guy.
I've been humble.
Okay.
This time last week, I did say that the Raptors.
Oh,
would swept.
yes. Is Rippy watching? Mike Rippy, are you
Mike
watching?
Rippy. Shout out to you. Obviously, your basketball opinion is good, but
Yeah.
not as good as mine. And, let this be a learning lesson for you to never second guess me. I just wanted to get that
We
out.
still never came up with a
He
consequence.
got
for
away with
Rippy.
that. Yes. We
He
didn't
did.
figure out
We
what
had
to
someone in the
bet.
chat last week say we should shave his head.
We should have put it on the table.
Yeah, I don't know if you're
Man
here for that,
bun.
Jesse. Rippy and Deanjilo made a bet. Deanjilo said that the Cavs were to sweep the Raptors, and Rippy's like, "There's no way they're going to
Yes.
sweep the Raptors."
I didn't think they were going to either.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
because like they struggled last year too with them at home, so I didn't think they were going to too. But when they won Game 3, I knew that they were going to win Game 4.
Okay.
I don't want to be called a basketball savant or anything, but
but you're a basketball.
but
But he
if you
made
threw
it.
it out there, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
All right, so now
Experts abound.
now with the Raptors, Lowry, Ibaka, Patrick Patterson, and Tucker are all free agents. What do you do? do you blow up this team? Do you re-sign these players? How do you rebuild? Deanjilo, I know you said you had a theory, so I'll start with you.
Or CJ Houston also had put that in the live chat. He asked the same question, so shout out to you. We got your question.
Okay.
I think it was from seeing all of those brick shots. I don't think when I saw a report that said Kyle Lowry is going to seriously consider going to the Western Conference. Like that came out as soon as they lost, whatever, to join another team. I don't know. Maybe the Spurs. I don't know.
His nerves say he should stay in the Eastern Conference.
But I think that if they're going to keep DeMar DeRozan as a centerpiece, they need to have a bunch of floor stretchers, like some Atlanta Hawks type situation, Atlanta Hawks before Dwight Howard type situation. Like I think
Amari Carroll, who they have right now.
They need people who actually make shots,
Somebody
though.
that can shoot the
Like
three and
a
split
Patrick
floor.
Patterson
Like
and
a
DeMar
Korver,
Carroll.
like
You need. I think because they need people to spread the floor to some DeMar DeRozan that has space to do what he does because he's a great scorer.
Yes.
And with that theory, I think then they don't need Kyle Lowry to return to the basketball team because I think I don't think he's adding enough, and especially when it playoff times.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're going to lose that many games if he's gone. If they go with the theory of getting a lot of like how the Houston Rockets have done with Ryan Anderson, Eric Gordon, all these guys who can stretch the floor, and then DeMar DeRozan is your decision maker.
All right. So now, I think that'd be terrible for them. But just because I wouldn't trust DeMar DeRozan making
To be able to distribute.
Yeah, which is not a bad thing. That's not his game. They need to get rid of Casey, their coach.
Dwayne Casey is not the issue. I don't know why he's getting so much
This
flack.
is why, because
He's
when you run an
definitely the
offense that
issue.
has no type of direction that relies on what they rely on, which is step back jump shot, step back mid-range jump shot. That's what they do. I mean, today, like I said, in the first half, they didn't really do much of that, and that's why I liked what I saw from them. But, a lot of it is just Kyle Lowry coming off a pick, shooting a three, DeRozan mid-range jumper, like ISO, and it's just not good basketball. And I understand that DeRozan's your best player, and you have to kind of fit a system around your best player, but there has to be some type of continuity with the role players as well. They need to find a way to contribute. I mean, you have Serge Ibaka, who's a very good offensive big man. Valanciunas can score as well. I'm not saying he's a huge threat, but these players can score.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you should be that stagnant on offense. They just don't seem like they have any purpose, if that makes any sense. And I'm with you, actually. I don't think they need Lowry. I think they need more of a distributor. It doesn't have to be like someone who can drop 20, but someone who can read the defense and make plays happen for other people, because DeRozan's not going to do that for you.
So you don't think that there's anybody on their bench that can kind of fill that role and step up? Because obviously DeRozan's still going to be your centerpiece.
I mean, Corey Joseph's cool, but he's a nice backup.
He's a backup
nice
guy.
backup. He's
Yeah.
not someone you want to
They
start.
need a three. They need a. I think at that point guard
You think
position,
that
they need
they
like
need
a
a
Patrick
star?
Beverly almost. Like I don't think they need a star. I think this will make them a little bit more competitive, not championship worthy. But I think they need someone. I feel like if DeMar DeRozan isn't that person who does like the James Harden type situation, then there's no. If he doesn't continue to develop in that area, it's pointless.
Right.
Because that's the only solution to becoming a championship worthy team. But I don't think otherwise they would have to blow it up because there's nothing else. Like what else would they do with what they already have?
I got you.
Yeah,
Jesse, what do you think about the Raptors?
I think they just need to blow it up. I don't know. I just like what are they going to do to beat the Cavs next year? I just think
that's
they
the
just
end
need to blow it up and start over.
CP3 is not going to the Raptors. Please stop with that.
Yes, we have a bunch of people.
Please stop.
Wait, I didn't
Are they
see
saying
that.
that in the chat?
Yeah, so we have a
CP3.
bunch of people in the chat commenting. So CJ Houston says Ibaka is the only one that they should bring back. And then we have that dog that says they need to get CP3 or Paul George.
Trade up for Fweets.
And then one thing that the fantasy stats guru says is they need some kind of elite guard. Do you really think Toronto is a destination in free agency?
Yes.
It is. I mean,
Yes,
I agree
I
with
do.
that. There's a lot. Let me tell you, Toronto is one of the top 5 cities that I list for athletes' destination.
Yeah. They love. Charles Barkley says that's his favorite city.
There is.
See, I'm not
like
down with it.
There's some
It's
culture.
too cold.
There's a lot.
Like, I
There's
used
a
to
lot
live
of
up near
attractive
there.
women there.
Yeah,
There's good
it's too cold.
nightlife. There's no paparazzi. The only downside is the taxes. I think that they've always been that team that's kind of right there, and you think they're one piece away. They're one thing away. When Masai Ujiri,
Yeah, I know you're the GM.
The GM got there from Denver.
Yeah.
He really seemed to inject some life into the organization. He seemed to be pulling good players, and they kind of got a mix going, but they never see. They always get to a little bit of momentum and then dead stop.
Kick off.
Yeah, it's just a ceiling.
This was definitely a backtrack for
But
him.
that's the ceiling when DeMar DeRozan's your best player. Nothing against DeRozan again. It sounds like I'm trashing him, but I'm not. He's your best player, and you can only go as far as your best player.
I totally
But
agree.
don't you think that a good coach could bring out maybe a little more in him or help him develop some parts of his game.
Yes, but I also think it's on the coach to do that for the role players as well. If you look at the Rockets, D'Antoni didn't just get the best out of Harden. He's getting the best out of Eric Gordon. He's getting the best out of Ryan Anderson.
That's why they need a coaching change.
I agree.
I'm not going to defend Dwayne Casey. I'm not.
But I do agree with you, D'Angelo. I think they need some sharpshooters on the outside as well. Just a pass first point guard or something like that.
And DeMar DeRozan needs to have, if you're going to be a pure scorer, you have to have a consistent 3-point shot. Like, I don't think that needs to be the next thing he adds next year. Like, the fact that that's not in his repertoire makes no sense.
Especially in the league now.
Yeah.
When everything's a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Good talk, guys.
Let's move on to the Warriors and Jazz. Warriors win on Saturday, 102-91. Lead the series 3-0. We never talk about the Warriors extensively
Kevin
because
Durant
there's really not
was
much to talk about.
testy.
So bored.
But I think that you can get to that. Well, you're getting to the testy part. I'm getting to the part where he took over in the fourth quarter.
He did. And it looked like his
Highlights
team and
show
not
that.
Steph's team.
Yeah, I mean, I think last year's Warriors team probably would have lost this game.
Agreed.
Because you have Steph cold, you have Clay cold, and who's going to take over and,
Yeah.
And
put
we
in
know
work like this?
who, Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
Does not heed well for the Cavaliers.
So if there's one thing to take away from this game, I think it shows that with Kevin Durant this year, I think they are a better squad. I know a lot of people were debating whether or not they were or not,
Right.
but like I said, I don't think they win this game.
I totally
Last
agree.
year.
That says,
Whack.
I feel like that's such a compliment to LeBron. They had to do all of this to beat him.
No.
And
but
it hasn't
did
happened yet.
Okay,
That's
so
true.
did they have to do all of that, or did they do it because here's the thing, every team wants to get better. No one looked at the Cavs and said, oh, look at everything that you're doing this year. It was just, no, we had some injuries and we need to add some pieces to combat the Warriors. They didn't go out and get like a Klay Thompson or anything like that to on their side. So I feel like the Warriors, I mean, obviously, if you have an opportunity to get a player like Kevin Durant, you don't say no.
Oh, of
I don't
course.
think that they targeted him like, hey, we need him to get over the hump with the Cavs.
I think they did.
I think
You
they
don't
did
think they
too.
did?
I
think they
think
did.
he
100% they
wanted.
did.
That was the
I think-
argument.
Yeah.
I think that he wanted to come there, and they were like, "Well, who's turning down Kevin Durant?" And then they
A
lost.
73-win team. Like
Right.
I get what you're saying. No, I do get what you're saying, Jill. I mean, he's the second best player in the world, arguably. Why would you say no to that? But I think you say no to that when you develop the chemistry that wins you 73 games in a regular season.
That's what I agree. So
Yeah.
I agree. At the same point, I agree with you too, because at the beginning of the season, I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And like, they barely lost last year. So I was like, Kevin Durant could really throw a wrench in this and like screw up the chemistry of the whole team. But now looking at it, just like you said, like, why would you not take Kevin Durant?
I also think what helped them to their benefit is the Olympics team that during this process, even though, you know, they're going head to head in the season right after that, they're in Vegas working out, getting ready for the Olympics. So he had time to develop a chemistry ahead of coming into the team. He already he was on a team. Oh, my headphones fell off. That's what you're saying. Okay. So he was on a team last season. I mean, during the summer with Klay Thompson, with Draymond, with, you know, almost half of his team. So part of the things that we were concerned about developing chemistry, how they were going to react with one another, was sort of worked out in the beginning. The biggest thing was going to be whose team is it, his or Steph's, and the sort of fourth quarter takeover question. And we seem to be answering that, which was not a problem, but predicted to be a problem going forward, and we saw some problems with that earlier in the season where they were trying to figure out who's going to take the last shot, so to speak.
I think they're just gonna go with who's hot. That's what I
Yeah.
would do. I mean,
Yeah, of course.
If
Why not?
Steph's feeling.
But
it
we've
that
seen some teams where that can be a momentum killer, a chemistry killer. About it almost took out the Cavs at one point when you could see Kyrie and LeBron kind of struggling because Kyrie felt through his actions or plays seemed that this is my team and you're coming here and I know you're LeBron, but I'm somebody too. So
Is it still going to be a compelling series, assuming they make the finals, the Warriors, Cavs?
yes, because you're saying LeBron James and
Some people are saying the Warriors going to sweep them now.
I don't think that
I
they're
think-
going
I think
to
sweep
sweep.
is
a
ridiculous.
Some people are saying it.
strong-
That's
No,
ridiculous.
no sweep.
Do you think anyone can give the Warriors a run in the next round, though? I mean, let's not even talk about the finals right now.
Are they just going to sweep all the way through like the Lakers did?
I can see them sweeping the Rockets. I can't see them sweeping the Spurs.
I can
But
see
do
them
you
sweeping
think-
the Spurs. I can't see them sweeping the Rockets.
I don't feel like the Spurs are the Spurs right now.
Maybe
I
that's
agree.
I still think of them in that way, but I just think that they wouldn't be intimidated. I don't think the Rockets would be intimidated either, but like I just don't think they're good. I don't think they have that that DNA, like that championship DNA. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't feel like every member of the Spurs does. Key components, LaMarcus Aldridge. You can put your faith in him if you want to.
Right. I'm not putting my faith in him. I put my faith in Pop.
You can't.
Pop
I
and
agree
Kawhi.
with that.
Pop
I
and
agree
Kawhi.
with that
Right.
wholeheartedly.
Kawhi.
However, couple of injuries going up against that Golden State squad. Again, I don't think sweep, but I don't see. I'm not concerned about the Spurs giving the Warriors any type of problems.
Mm-hmm.
So are we saying Warriors in 4 against the Jazz right now? Or are we just not even?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
The Jazz overachieved making it to the second round.
Yeah, I disagree with that. But
I don't.
them beating the Clippers, whether they had Blake Griffin
Injury.
or not, is. I know you're a Clipper fan, but you
Listen,
know.
listen. Don't get just because
the
you
little
don't have your
violin
40
music.
here tonight does not mean.
I'm a little high today. I'm good. I'm 1 hours.
All right. So Jill, you have any news, any stories that you would like to share with us?
I do. Some little interesting
some juice for
things
us?
going on, some little funny stuff. So, you know, Jordan Clarkson, we know he likes
I know you're
to
talking about already.
date models and so forth. And so it was rumored that he was dating one of the Bellas. Which Bella was it? Not Bella Hadid.
Gigi or
No,
oh,
Bella
not
Thorne. Bella Thorne,
she
the
look
other
like?
Bella.
Thorne. I
Bella
don't
know who that is. What she
Thorne.
look like?
Redhead that
Show
was
me a
on the
picture.
Disney Channel.
Yeah, so
I'll show you.
and so, you know, there were some tweets about it. Jordan got wind of it and was like, nah, we just cool, and posted
Nah, I just smashed.
for everybody to
That's
chill out a bit. Do you know what I'm saying? I love that. I love that you're just addressing your rumors and
Oh, yeah, she's
just kind of letting that, like, you know, yeah, we hang out a little bit, but it's not too much to it. He dated Kendall Jenner for a little while, Chanel
Did he?
Iman. Yes, he did.
That's the rumor.
Yes, he
Yep.
did. So,
Shout out to Jordan Clarkson.
that's what you do when you come to the Lakers. You date models,
Especially
and
when you're coming off
top-notch
the bench.
reality It doesn't matter.
It don't.
It does not
So
matter.
Paul George, if you want to join the Los Angeles Lakers, these are your benefits.
Paul George already
Because
knows about.
winning ain't one of them.
Hey.
What?
Hey.
Oh, that's your other team.
Yes,
I'm just
it's
coming for you today.
complicated. You are. So, okay, the other thing that happened was there was a strange tweet from Kristaps Porzingis'
Oh yeah.
Twitter account the other day. It
It
just
was
said
hacked. It
LA
was hacked.
Clippers with 3 smileys.
It was hacked. Knick fans, relax.
Yeah, it was hacked. But
going
the
anywhere.
the funniest thing about it
Oh,
is
Kristaps.
not that it was hacked. It was Kristaps' response after the tweet was deleted.
Mm.
He came on and tweeted this morning, I would never tweet something like that. I don't even use that emoji smiley face. And he did include his keyboard to show that it was not in his recent smileys.
I'm talking about.
Then he said, come on, B. Is he in New York for
Yes,
life? Is he in New York? Then come on. He said,
said
come on, B.
Yo,
Look, right there. Come
That's
on,
my
B.
boy right there. He tweeted in Tim's too, yo. I'm
Do you know what I'm
tweeted in
saying?
Tim's.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Let's
He
go.
is an East Coast
Come on,
legend
B.
at this point.
Let's go.
So he's
KG,
already a legend.
You are
I'm
only
excited
hope.
for. I
You
don't
are
know what I'm
only hope.
excited for, but I'm just happy for you. I don't know.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
can't go.
beast.
If he goes, like, it's just,
Yeah.
we have to build around him.
Yes.
You have to build around him.
We do.
So, you know, that's it. Just
Come
a little
on,
couple
B.
of quick.
I like it. All right,
Yeah,
Kristaps.
you know,
All
I
right.
mean, he is embedded in the culture.
Yeah.
He's there.
You out in them streets now. I see you.
Right.
Oh, man. That made me so happy.
You did.
That
You
made
did.
me way happy.
I knew it. That's
I'm
why I
happy
wanted to
for
make
you.
sure, because I thought that would bring a smile to your face.
I'm happy for you.
I knew it.
Thank
See
you.
some good news for your team.
Thank you.
Do you know? Yeah.
Is there anything else that you have?
You know, it's kind of light tonight, so. Wow. Thanks.
Oh, I love that. Shut up.
Stephen Lemieux, who's watching.
Right. He it's like I'm just pleading my case, and Josh is just like, yeah, whatever, Joe.
Oh my goodness. Guys, actually, I want to talk to you guys about iTunes because we're AfterBuzz Sports. This is something new, and in order to get us the views that we deserve, we need to be rated on iTunes. So if you can, please go to iTunes, give us 5 stars. Don't give us 4, 3, 2, or 1 because they don't really work.
No.
Well,
Give us
yeah,
5.
rate 5.
And wait, it's a
Come
5-star
on, you
crew.
got-
Hold up. Don't hit us with no 4 stars.
You know, we want to get AfterBuzz Sports going. We're not going to just do NBA playoffs. We're going to bring some baseball for you, football when it starts, college sports, fantasy football, things like
Soccer.
that. Soccer. We actually do have some soccer things going as well. So, you know, this is some new endeavor that AfterBuzz is doing. and we would like for you to be a part of it. But in order for us to keep it going, we need to show our producers that it's something worth, pursuing.
Yeah.
And we appreciate the 40 of you that are in the chat room
Absolutely.
right now.
The chat is always
Shout out to
popping,
Mr.
y'all.
Regman. Yeah, he went to a bodega afterwards.
Yes, Mr. Regman. Mr. Regman, what's up? He's also a listener of BHL Sports Weekly, which you can catch every Thursday at 7.
Oh.
But yeah, so if you can go on iTunes, leave some comments even after the stream is broadcasted. That would be greatly appreciated.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, any last thoughts on the weekend? Any of the games of the weekend? Any big things to take away from any of the teams?
Will we see any game under 10 points?
For real.
Like,
I know we
honestly,
started with that, but I want to see that.
Tomorrow we won't see that.
Because there's really no adversity being shown by any team,
No.
really. You know what I mean? Rockets, Spurs, Cavs, Warriors, they don't really have much adversity to show. I mean, the Jazz-Warriors game kind of got tight, but they pulled it out in the end. It wasn't like, all right, who's going to take the last shot? What are we going to do in the final possession? We haven't seen any of that.
Wizards Celtics is all we got.
I agree.
But even the Wizards-Celtics have passed the games.
I know, but I think it's going to get closer. I do.
You think so? So you
Yeah,
think
like
it's
the
going
next
6 or 7?
I think I originally said 6, but now I think it's going to go 7.
And you have the Celtics or the Wizards
The
still?
Wizards, of course.
seven?
The Wizards.
Yeah.
I had them in 6, but now I have them in 7. Yeah, exactly.
Let's check back on the poll before
Yes,
we
check
start
back on
getting
the
out
poll.
here. So,
Oh, you're going to have to go all
scroll. It's getting
Spurs
closer.
made a comeback.
So there's 1 minute left. I don't think that we're gonna make it. And basically, as far as everyone is concerned, the Rockets are going to take this series. 55% of you voted for Rockets. Thank you, because you know what's
You know,
up. 45% for the Spurs. The poll just ended.
just ended right now.
It just ended.
We did it, Jill. We did it, Jill. We
The right side of the desk.
What? Hopefully
I'm happy for you guys again.
We'll know in
See,
a couple
but
of
that's
days.
what happened last week. Everyone disagreed with my opinion and I being
Who did?
right.
Oh, maybe I wasn't there.
So
Talking directly to Michael Ribby right
Michael
now.
Ribby, other
Mike
people
Rips.
were at the panel as well. They decided to not speak, so they were wrong by omission.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So I'll take this as another opportunity to prove people wrong.
All right. I think my biggest thing to take away from the weekend is that Durant. We just talked about it, but Durant, stepping up and taking over Game 3, showing that when Steph and Clay are off, I can do it, and that's just a scary thought. Because how are you going to beat a team 4 times? Anybody? I don't care if you have LeBron James on your team. How are you going to beat anybody for that team 4 times? How? How?
It's possible they did it before.
I don't know. Without Durant, though.
Not with Durant though.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for joining us. Everybody in the live chat, you guys are awesome. We really appreciate you guys showing love to us. We are here every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday reviewing the NBA playoffs. When the Western Conference and Eastern Conference final schedules come out, we'll probably do a different schedule. We'll let you know. But until then, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh_Rodriguez_. Jill, where can they find you?
I'm Jill Munroe. You can find me everywhere at Stiletto Jill. Hit me up, check my Insta stories, tap my Snapchat, and don't forget to leave us thumbs up comments on iTunes and YouTube.
Yes, hit us up on. Give us those 5 stars. It's a 5-star crew. All
Yes.
right? None of that, nothing below that. But hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at Deanjilo. That's DeAnjilo.
Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm Jessie Zahner. You can find me all over social media at Athletic, and check out my website, athletic.com, for the best, worst, and weirdest fashions of round 1 of the NBA playoffs. It's pretty interesting. Yeah,
Check it
so
out.
check it out,
There's a
guys.
lot to see.
Let's go check that
The
out.
Fashion King has got to have made an appearance in there, Russell Westbrook.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Oh, yes.
There you go.
Many appearances in there, actually. So check it out.
All right, guys. We will see you on Tuesday. Thanks for joining us.
Yes. Thank you, guys. See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.